Welcome to the Congo Basin, one of the world's great forests. Covering 2 million square kilometres, an area 4 times the size of Spain, the Congo Basin jungles span 6 countries in the heart of Africa. This vast forest acts as the Earth's second lung, alongside the Amazon rainforest. Its trees release oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide, reducing the amount of the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere and helping to slow global warming. The Congo's forests support a vast biodiversity and regulate the flow of the immense Congo river system. But they also provide food, shelter and medicine to millions of forest dwellers in some of the planet's poorest countries. Yet the Congo Basin is threatened. Land conversion for agriculture, illegal logging, and the unsustainable exploitation of forest resources are increasing pressure on forests and starting to change.
Ce sont des forêts qui sont sous pression anthropique maintenant. Alors nous, comme scientifiques, nous voulons que nous puissions caractériser la faune, donc les oiseaux, l'ornithologie de cette forêt-là, avant que cette forêt ne soit vraiment détruite.
New research is telling us more about the forest's role in sustaining life and livelihoods. Millions of people in the region rely on wild animals for essential protein, catching and eating an estimated 5 million tonnes of bushmeat every year.
In rural area in the Congo Basin, people rely up to 60–80% of bushmeat for their protein intake, and the rest comes from fish, from grubs, caterpillar.
Ça ne se voit pas comme auparavant.
In Cameroon, this forest vine, known as okok, is an extremely popular vegetable. So popular, harvesting is becoming unsustainable. So communities are now planting their own with CIFOR's help.
Le coq nous sert les enfants pour mettre à l'école, l'habillement, la santé. Dès que tu viens de vendre le coq, tu peux payer des produits pour ta santé.
Recent research has shown that up to 9 million cubic metres of timber are legally harvested from the Congo Basin's forests each year, a major source of income for countries in the region. But in Cameroon, CIFOR scientists have discovered that the amount of illegal timber sold inside the country is even greater than the amount harvested legally and exported.
And that means that if we want to deal with sustainable forest management, we have to consider and to include these informal community chains of timber around the country.
And to develop ways to protect it.
I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together and should act as one single world towards one single goal.
The term green economy itself suggests an emphasis on the dual ecological and economic dimensions of a solution. But the definition provided, I think, particularly by UNEP, is one that does explicitly incorporate social goals. To quote, A green economy is one that results in improved human well-being and social equity, while significantly reducing environmental risks and ecological scarcities, based upon a combination of low-carbon growth, resource efficiency, and social inclusivity. So in a broad interpretation, this may approximate the notion of sustainable development.
This September, 193 countries will meet at the UN to adopt new global goals. These 17 goals provide a roadmap that will help the world achieve sustainable development. But what exactly is sustainable development and how does it affect us? Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. But what does that mean? Everyone understands the need to grow their economies, but not everyone takes into account the negatives that unbalanced economic growth can have on the environment and on people's well-being. It's time to change that by looking at the world in a different way. The Sustainable Development Goals will help us to do that. Sustainable development is about the big picture. It's about improving the lives of everyone, everywhere, and achieving all these things together. How can we achieve all of this, and where do we even start? Well, the 17 goals will mean member states, alongside civil society stakeholders and major groups, will be working together for the next 15 years, looking at ways we can do business differently so that everyone gains. With these 17 global goals as our guide, we can achieve sustainable development and live in a world where people and planet benefit. But we have to act now. This is the time for global action. To find out how you can get involved and learn
Our planet's diverse, thriving ecosystems may seem like permanent fixtures, but they're actually vulnerable to collapse. Jungles can become deserts, and reefs can become lifeless rocks, even without cataclysmic events like volcanoes and asteroids. What makes one ecosystem strong and another weak in the face of change? The answer, to a large extent, is biodiversity. Biodiversity is built out of three intertwined features: ecosystem diversity, species diversity, and genetic diversity. The more intertwining there is between these features, the denser and more resilient the weave becomes. Take the Amazon rainforest, one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth due to its complex ecosystems, huge mix of species, and the genetic variety within those species. Here are tangled liana vines, which crawl up from the forest floor to the canopy, intertwining with treetops and growing thick wooded stems that support these towering trees. Helped along by the vines, trees provide the seeds, fruits, and leaves to herbivores such as the tapir and the agouti, which disperse their seeds throughout the forest so they can grow. Leftovers are consumed by the millions of insects that decompose and recycle nutrients to create rich soil. The rainforest is a huge system filled with many smaller systems like this, each packed with interconnected species. Every link provides stability to the next, strengthening biodiversity's weave. That weave is further reinforced by the genetic diversity within individual species, which allows them to cope with changes. Species that lack genetic diversity due to isolation or low population numbers are much more vulnerable to fluctuations caused by climate change, disease, or habitat fragmentation. Some environments, taking away just one important component can undermine the entire system. Take coral reefs, for instance. Many organisms in a reef are dependent on the coral. It provides key microhabitats, shelter, and breeding grounds for thousands of species of fish. Just a few strands are lost. Our own well-being is threatened. Cut too many links, and we risk unraveling it all. What the future brings is unpredictable. But biodiversity can give us an insurance policy, Earth's own safety net, to safeguard our survival.
Now let us learn about the endemic species. For you to know, a species is a group of populations which are capable of interbreeding. Members of a species have common characteristics. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you find an apple tree growing in the South India? No. Apple trees are usually found in the northern parts of India. Thus, species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area are called endemic species. They are not found anywhere else. A particular type of animal or plant may be endemic to a zone, a state, or a country.
Our human activities consume resources and produce waste, and nature needs to have the capacity to meet these demands. The ecological footprint is a way to measure our human demand on nature. Every one of us has an ecological footprint. The footprint represents the impact of a person, a household, a city, a business, or a country on nature. Things like food, energy, transportation, goods and services all contribute to our ecological footprint. The footprint is expressed as the amount of land and water required to produce what we consume and to absorb the waste we generate. By measuring the ecological footprint, we can assess the pressure our lifestyle puts on the planet. This helps us to manage our ecological assets more wisely and to take personal and collective action.
Στο σημερινό podcast θα αναφερθούμε σε όλες τις στοχευμένες δράσεις που μπορείτε να κάνετε για να αξιοποιήσετε σοφά τους πόρους της γης με στόχο την προαγωγή της υγείας σας παράλληλα με την προστασία του περιβάλλοντος. Οι δράσεις που μπορείτε να εφαρμόσετε είναι: αναπτύξτε ή υποστηρίξτε την τοπική καλλιέργεια και την κατανάλωση των προϊόντων της. Αγοράστε τρόφιμα από τοπικές φάρμες και λαϊκές αγορές. Με τον τρόπο αυτό μειώνονται τα τροφοχιλιόμετρα, δηλαδή η απόσταση σε χιλιόμετρα από τον τόπο παραγωγής στον τόπο κατανάλωσης, καθώς και η τιμή των προϊόντων. Ασκήστε πίεση στα σούπερ μάρκετ όπου κάνετε τις αγορές σας, ώστε να πωλούν τοπικά προϊόντα. Μην ξεχνάτε ότι τις περισσότερες φορές οι μεταφερόμενες τροφές έχουν βασικές απώλειες στις βιταμίνες και τα αντιοξυδοτικά, ενώ οι έτοιμες κομμένες σαλάτες ή τα προψημένα τρόφιμα πιθανόν να είναι φτωχά σε βιταμίνες, ενώ είναι σίγουρα πιο πλούσια σε θερμίδες. Αν η παραγωγή, η επεξεργασία και η απευθείας πώληση των τροφίμων γίνει επομένως σε τοπικό επίπεδο, το οικολογικό κέρδος που προκύπτει είναι τεράστιο. Καταναλώστε λιγότερο κόκκινο κρέας και ζωικά προϊόντα που είναι τα πιο ενεργοβόρα τρόφιμα. Κατέχουν το 18% της παγκόσμιας εκπομπής διοξιδίου του άνθρακα και στην εκτροφή τους γίνεται μεγάλη σπατάλη νερού. Εξάλλου, η μεγάλη κατανάλωση επιβαρύνει και δημιουργεί ποικίλα προβλήματα στην υγεία σας. Σύμφωνα με έρευνες, η Ελλάδα έχει υψηλή κατανάλωση κρέατος, η οποία έχει αυξηθεί ιδιαιτέρως τα τελευταία 20 χρόνια. Έτσι, η Ελλάδα κατέχει την 11η θέση παγκοσμίως στην κατανάλωση μοσχαριού, θέση αρκετά υψηλή αν σκεφτείτε ότι είμαστε η γενέτειρα της μεσογειακής διατροφής που παραδοσιακά περιλαμβάνει ελάχιστο κρέας. Ένας τρόπος για να μειώσετε την κατανάλωση κρέατος και ζωικών προϊόντων είναι φροντίζοντας, πρώτον, τουλάχιστον 3 γεύματα την εβδομάδα να μην περιέχουν κρέας και να περιέχουν λαδερά, ζυμαρικά, σαλάτες ή όσπρια και 1 ημέρα την εβδομάδα χωρίς καθόλου κρέας και ζωικά προϊόντα. Δεύτερον, να προτιμάτε το κρέας από μικρά ζώα ή κοτόπουλα ελευθεράς βοσκής. Τρίτον, να αγοράζετε ψάρια που δεν προέρχονται από ιχθυοτροφία και δεν είναι είδος υπό εξαφάνιση. Τέταρτον, να καταναλώνετε λαχανικά, δημητριακά ολικής άλεσης, ψωμί και αμυλούχα τρόφιμα. Πέμπτον, να καταναλώνετε τρόφιμα τα οποία βρίσκονται χαμηλά στην τροφική αλυσίδα. Ιδανικά το κρέας που καταναλώνετε πρέπει να είναι λίγο σε ποσότητα και άριστο σε ποιότητα, βιολογικής κτηνοτροφίας. Μία άλλη δράση που μπορείτε να εφαρμόσετε είναι να καταναλώνετε εποχικά τρόφιμα, δηλαδή η διατροφή σας να είναι εναρμονισμένη με τις εποχές. Το φρέσκο είναι σίγουρα πιο νόστιμο, πιο υγιεινό, πιο φτηνό και με καλύτερο άρωμα.
Rainforests are of 2 types, tropical and temperate. Tropical rainforests are found in the tropics or close to the equator. They experience high temperatures and rainfall throughout the year. Some rainforests are so dense that it could take rain as long as 10 minutes to reach the ground. And since it rains a lot in such forests, they are called rainforests. So where would we find such forests? Major tropical rainforests are found in Asia, Africa, and South America. The Amazon rainforest in South America, for example, is the world's largest tropical rainforest. The Amazon River, which is the world's second largest river, also flows through this forest. Some other well-known tropical rainforests are the Congo rainforest in Africa, the Harappan rainforest in Asia, and the Daintree rainforest in Australia. Temperate rainforests lie between the tropics and polar circles of the globe. Layers. Now what does that mean? Imagine the rainforest is a 3-story building. The ground floor is dark and covered with leaves and dead plants. This floral layer is also called the forest floor. And some families who live here are the jaguar family, gorilla family, and elephant family. The first floor is a bit brighter. It is also called the understory layer. Some frog, butterfly, bird, and snake families live here. And let me tell you, the snakes and frogs are sometimes not the best of neighbors. And there are families who love the second floor or canopy layer. These are bird and monkey families. Many insects live here too, along with some snakes. Finally, we have the penthouses on the 3rd floor. This is also called the emergent layer. Some snake and monkey families live here, along with other families, such as bats and bugs. Nice friendly neighborhood, eh?
Here we are on the forest floor of a tropical rainforest. Believe it or not, only 6 or 7% of the sunlight is available to plants down here on the forest floor. As you know, photosynthesis drives the entire ecosystem down here, so there aren't that many plants. This is the forest floor. This is known as the understory, and most life in the rainforest is found in the canopy. We're all geared up, and we're going to head up into the canopy soon. Those are the 3 layers in a rainforest. There's actually a 4th layer. The emergent trees, they actually come out and stick up above the canopy layer. So we're going to get up there in the trees and see what we find. Wish us luck.
Alright.
Here we are, ascending a tree. These tools we're using, our rock climbing tools, are called ascenders. And we're going up higher and higher into the canopy of this enormous rainforest tree. We are about halfway up of this giant rainforest tree. That's where we started. And we've come across our first epiphytes. Epiphytes are known as air plants, and the leaves you're seeing are not the leaves of the tree itself. These are plants that are living on top of the host tree. They aren't really parasites, they aren't really doing much damage, they're just kind of getting up higher, closer to the sunlight. As we get up into the rainforest, we find a strangler fig. That plant wrapping around the tree there is actually called a strangler fig, one of hundreds of different types of tropical figs. But this one will wrap itself around and grow up the host tree, and it will slowly strangle it, but it might even take 100 years to do it, leaving an enormous tree killed, and then will disintegrate, and then just surrounding it will be the strangler fig, now big enough to support its own weight.
Alright, we have made it up to the canopy of the rainforest. We are up at the top of the trees, worked our way up here on the ascenders, and now we know how monkeys and birds feel. Pretty awesome.
Here we are, we made it to the top of the canopy, and as you can tell, it's really sunny up here. This is where most photosynthesis happens in a rainforest. It's not down there on the forest floor, it's pretty dark down there, but up here is where the sunlight is, and that's why most plants try to get up to the top for photosynthesis.
Amazing! Come, let me show you pictures of a few such fascinating creatures. And don't forget the fantastic variety of plant life. Some trees can grow up to 30 meters tall. 30 meters is roughly as high as 15 adult humans. Amazing! As you can see, rainforests are critical for our very survival. Rainforests also have a huge influence on our diet. An astounding number of fruits, vegetables, nuts, drinks, oils and flavorings come from rainforests. Rainforests are also a rich source of medicine. And as I mentioned before, scientists are still discovering new things about rainforests. Fascinating, right? So do you think we are protecting our rainforests? Well, rainforests used to cover 14% of the Earth's surface, but due to deforestation, now only cover around 6%. This is an alarming statistic, so we should all do our bit to help. A good place to start would be learn more about the rainforest's plants, animals and people. And of course, the issues surrounding rainforests and deforestation.